Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jam Box.
This is not a podcast. This is a show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jam Box. We're back at it again. We're going to get into it, but before we do, make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things, follow, ring that bell. I think somebody told me to say, all the good stuff. But now let's go ahead and get on into it. Here is today's guest.
Hey, Daddy. Why haven't you called me back? It's Isms AKA Gurt, AKA Elon Musk with the better jawline. Where have you been?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Glad you could finally make it. For those of you that don't know, this is
Isms. Gurt. Isms. I don't know.
Gurt.
Call me whatever.
The other half, another part of Doback?
Yeah. Well, I just recently started playing with him.
Okay.
I told him I would DJ. He got very excited about it. So
and then it's been history ever since.
We've just played one show. I mean, we have a show tomorrow night too. I don't know when this is coming out, but
it will not be tomorrow night. But it definitely will have happened recently, like about a week ago.
Hey.
I did that right into the camera. There you go. That's for y'all. I did it.
He did it for you.
Just for y'all. All right, you ready to get into this?
Oh, let's fucking do it.
All right, go ahead and give us the introduction. Tell us a little bit about, where you're from, what you do. Give us that Tinder profile of your involvement with music.
The Tinder profile. I haven't been on that shit. Goddamn. I grew up on the west side of Portland. I've been playing music for quite a long time. Started with guitar when I was a wee chap. Moved into playing bass and drums, went through fucking high school band in the drum line. That shit sucked. Started smoking weed. Fucking stopped giving a shit about school.
For the people that choose to do it, that definitely happens.
Yeah. No, I was a very average student, so, be how it be. I really didn't start getting into engineering until I moved back from Austin.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you move there?
I moved there. I was probably 18. Me and my girlfriend at the time split up, and my dad was living there for work, and he was just like, "Hey, do you want to come live in Austin?" So I was like, "Fuck it, I don't got shit to do." I was working at a shitty ass roller rink. If anybody's from Hillsboro, Oregon, Skate World was the shit in our days.
Yep.
So I moved there for a little bit. Just experience something other than Portland.
I mean, I think it's important for everybody to move out of their hometown for a little bit.
Dude, you fucking have to.
Yeah,
you have to.
Once you know the world is different. Even if you move back, at least you move back knowing the world is different.
Yeah, with some new experiences.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, you said you play a little bit of guitar.
I do.
What are some of the other instruments you play? Or things that you do?
Well, I guess I should say I've been producing for, it's been 14 years now. Back in high school, me and a friend got very into house music when we found out about it. Mm-hmm. Very into electronic music, and we discovered a thing called FL Studios.
Oh, shout out Max.
Quickly graduated from that into Ableton because it's a way better DAW. Sorry.
Also, shout out Max.
And we just started making fucking house music. And that kind of carried on. Back into moving back from Austin, I was deciding what the fuck I wanted to do with my life, and I enrolled in a technical college for audio engineering because that
was it Full Sail?
Bro, so I went to Full Sail for 2 months. Full Sail is fucking bullshit. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Motherfuckers, did you go to Full Sail?
No, I didn't.
Okay. You kind of, I wasn't sure if you would give me a look like, well, full guy, I went to Full Sail.
Oh, no. I didn't go to school for any of this.
Yeah. Dude, you don't have to. You can find it all on YouTube.
I think for some people it's helpful to have it like presented to them just to like understand the parts.
Yes.
Unless you're like people like us who like just like to pick up things and plug them into each other and see what they do.
Very, very easy to figure out from the internet.
Yep.
But I will agree that like
yes and no. I mean, I'm not a big learn on the internet guy. It's not my favorite approach. Yeah, because like for me, it's like I got to learn like how do I put this best? It's hard for me to like listen the way everybody talks when I have to like retain certain types of information. So like if it's not somebody I can like stay like actively focused on, but also, you know, it's hard to ask questions in the middle when it's a video.
Yeah, you just pause it and,
you know, coincidentally
Google shit after that.
Yeah, if anybody ever has questions, put them in the comments.
Put them in the comments.
Put them in the comments. I'll send them all to him and he can answer them back.
Yeah, I will answer every one of your comments.
Every video. Yep.
I will.
Oh, he will. He answers every message I send him.
Mm-hmm.
Every single message I've ever sent him.
Mm-hmm.
All of them.
No, I've been very cordial.
We can scroll back. They're there.
Mm-hmm. Nobody doubt it. Not at all.
All right, let's get back into it though. Oh wait, continue your part. I was about to jump to the next question.
Yeah, I was kind of just figuring out what the fuck I wanted to do with my life, and I was very passionate about music. But you know, didn't really want to go to a university.
Yeah,
couldn't really go to a university unless I wanted to pay a lot of fucking money. So I ended up enrolling in a audio engineering program through a technical college, and that's kind of where I discovered, I wouldn't say a love for audio engineering because I like doing it. It's not what I want to do with my fucking life, but like
an affinity for it.
Yeah, like I'll do it for my life if that comes down to it, but I'd much rather be an artist. But I do think being an engineer makes you a better artist.
The knowledge of how it works is definitely helpful. Yeah. I've used this example in conversation a lot, and now it's finally going to exist on the show. I always like to use the example of there are people with oil in their blood and gasoline in their blood. There are people who like to wrench on cars, and there are people who like to drive cars. And if you are a person who drives cars, you should know how the car works. Like that just makes you a better driver because you understand the mechanics and you can understand the movements, even if you're more like, even if you don't love it, knowing it. And same thing, if you're a mechanic, it's important, or if you're somebody who's like hands-on with the technical side of things, it's important to know how it works in real life. Like you could put together a million things, but with no R&D, you won't know if it works. So you know, it's not to say you have to love either one more or the other, but it's good to know. And that's not to say
good to know.
That's not to say that if you don't know one or the other, you can't still be great at the thing you do.
You can still pass your fucking driver's test. You know.
Yeah, but
you don't have to know how an engine works, but like knowing how the engine works, fucking, you can change your oil. You don't have to go to Jiffy Lube.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Sometimes they forget to put it in.
They always do.
Yeah.
They always do. And I'm always disappointed when I go.
Well, shout out Jiffy Lube anyways. I'm sure y'all work hard.
Hey, shout out Jimmy Lube. You know? That's
right. We officially have to change this to the not for children category on YouTube.
That's where I want to go to get my oil changed. This is Jimmy Lube.
I can do it too. I have all the stuff. But let's get back into it. This next question is definitely a crowd favorite. It's a big one. What was the first album you purchased with your own money?
With my own money?
With your own dollar bills.
So, fuck, dude. I don't remember that. I remember my first album, but like I was fucking like 9, so I didn't buy it myself.
No, what was the first one you did buy yourself?
Oh, I can't remember that. Maybe I did have an allowance. I got $1 a week.
Wow, that's $52 a year.
That is, you know, I was living lavish,
falling out of control.
So maybe I did purchase it myself.
Was it the Wiggles?
It was not the Wiggles. I don't think that was around when I was of purchasing age. I think it was probably Green Day, American Idiot.
Huh. That's not the first time.
Wait.
Oh, there it is.
No,
There it is.
It was Slipknot's Iowa.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah.
Okay.
And my parents did not like that. My parents did not like that.
That was
music.
the next question I was going to ask. That's, yep.
But it's fucking like those first couple of Slipknot albums.
How old were you?
Fuck. I mean, I was probably like 9 or 10.
Okay. The ripe age to be getting into Slipknot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking, goddamn. I remember when my older brother gave me, like, it was before iPods existed, and it was just like MP3 players. If it's just awful fucking MP3 players. And that's how I found out about Slipknot, because he got his another one, so he like hand me down it to me, and I found a lot of good fucking music from there. And this Slipknot was one of those, and that turned me into a rebellious child.
Ooh.
I mean, I grew up, like, my whole family has just, like, been very rock-oriented.
Yep.
Not, I mean, like, I've discovered, like rap and hip-hop and EDM and shit, like, on my own, but...
Yeah.
I mean, my dad's favorite band is... Well, I mean, my dad's favorite artist was, like, Tom Petty and Led Zeppelin and shit.
Yep.
Jimi Hendrix, and then my mom was very into, like... vanilla rock, so like some Jack Johnson, some Dixie Chicks,
Okay.
Okay. And so it was kind of like a mesh of the two, and then we would listen to like alternative radio in the car and shit. So I mean, that's kind of how I developed my music taste from a young child.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, staying in the realm of the younger years, what was the first show you went to that you like chose to go to? It's not like, you know, the county fair. Like, what was the first one that you were like, I want to go to this show, got tickets for this show, going to this show?
So like on my own, because like my parents were fucking tight, and they took us to concerts, like rock concerts, when I mean shit, I was like 9 years old. So I mean, my very, very first show was
let's say the first one you like wanted to go to. So even if you went to a bunch of cool ones before then, what was the first show you were like, I want to go to this show?
Like solo, like running solo as a fucking 14-year-old child? Or?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Fuck. I'm actually going to say, because I can't remember the rest, but I was a ripe young age, was Rusco, which is a...
Okay, yeah.
At the Roseland in Portland.
Wow.
I was young, and I kind of had to, like I was saying, like discover a lot of music by myself from the help of MySpace and YouTube.
Yep.
Back in the day. So I found out about like EDM kind of by myself, and that
it was hard to avoid getting permeated by it for a stretch of time. You know what I mean? It like when I mean, it was always around, but there was definitely a point in time where it like finally made it into the limelight, and now it's just a foundation sound.
It fucking really is. Because I mean, there's always been like EDM, I guess. Like, I mean,
well, there's always been electronic music.
There are, like even
always, you know what I mean?
Even like in the fucking 70s when like synth started coming around, people would make like solo albums, just pure fucking synth. And then like coming into the 80s, like in the UK, there's like the rave scene started, and then like, you know, fucking UK garage and like jungle and drum and bass kind of started popping off. There's like in Chicago in the 80s, there's fucking house music started developing. So it really has been around, and it has always been very surface level in the mainstream, like even with fucking like Daft Punk like popping off. But it around when internet culture really started happening, it started to take a turn. So it's,
I mean, I think that's a little too broad a statement, though. Like, because the culture in general changed because of the internet. So, like, that's, you know, it's not.
I guess they go hand in hand.
It's not that the music changed because of the internet. People changed because of the internet, and people make music.
That is true. Okay, I do agree with that. I am a fucking 100% believe that the way music has changed is because of MySpace.
Well, I mean, MySpace definitely had a foundation of time where it existed as like a place to present. Like, I think like originally it started like Facebook started, where it was just supposed to be like a connection network.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, it actually like took a turn and became like actively a creative space. And that's coincidentally how, fun fact, Dane Cook blew up. That's how he got huge.
Fuck Dane Cook. I don't give a shit about Dane Cook. All right.
But more, I mean, like, you remember how nobody knew about him, and then suddenly he was
everybody
literally
fucking knew about it,
everywhere?
and he was doing like fucking big stand-up specials and shit.
Yeah.
I really think MySpace changed a lot of shit though, because it allowed so many fucking people to discover brand new bands, because like you could just upload fucking MP3s of your demo tracks, and then that's how people got found out. That's how I found out about fucking like From First to Last. That's how I figured out about like Bring Me the Horizon and shit.
That's how I found out about Attack.
Yep. Yes, sir.
You know what? It's on like an OG iPod that I have buried deep somewhere in the world, but I have their original EP.
If Guns Are Outlaw,
like before
if Guns Are Outlaw, can we use swords?
Like before they got signed to anything, they're like independently released EP that they did before, like the original version of Stickly.
Yeah, but motherfuckers would just upload that shit on like MySpace, and that's how they would get discovered.
Yeah,
you know, it's fucking crazy. I really feel like that era of the internet changed fucking music.
Yeah, well, I mean, it definitely blew up at a certain point, but also like there's the whole like Napster LimeWire experience.
There is that
like
too.
Changed the way that music was distributed. And
Exactly,
I mean, for better and worse. Like, yes, like the argument goes both directions, and like to have a stance on it does not acknowledge the whole instance. But like,
I don't feel like it's an argument. I feel like it's just like all of these things started fucking happening at once, and it's just like all of them are interconnected.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And even then, it is the way it is now. I think if we sit there and try to argue the point that it already happened, it's done already happened. I think living in the now for those kinds of things. And I mean, like that gets even further into like the way people make music, and like the ideas to how to approach making a new sound versus making a similar sound, and like because music is so accessible from an entry standpoint, like you can start creating with next to nothing nowadays.
All you gotta have is a fucking laptop, and you can.
You can do it with a phone.
you can, yeah.
You could still do it with standalone things, but I was having this conversation. I don't think it was on the show, but I was having this conversation the other day with someone, and we were talking about how, or the question was, actually, I know exactly whose episode this is on. It will have come out by this one, so I can say it. Raymond Barnett. Shout out Raymond. Also shout out Why Not Nate. The question was, do you think that music being so accessible has like oversaturated the market, or like made it more like, is it a positive or a negative? And
it's a little bit of both, in my opinion.
See,
that's a hard question.
Exactly, because it is both, and I think we're really, man, we have not even dived into some more of the depth questions. We have derailed this completely. But since we're talking about it anyways, I think that music being accessible is something that people don't realize used to be the way it was. Back in the day, you may have had like 5 or 6 people that could like play piano or upright bass or drums or like, whatever was available at the time, like the guitar for sure, banjo, harmonica.
How far back are we talking?
Well, I mean, you can look as far back as you want as far as music has existed, but for the longest time, it was purposefully a community-based event. Yeah. Everybody would hang out at ye local tavern and sing the songs of old. Like, people would meet up in the square and like, hum around, do a jig, like things like that.
Even going up to like disco, like motherfuckers would come together and just like...
For the longest time before recorded music really existed, the only way music could exist was by everybody doing it.
It was just live performances.
Yeah, exactly. There weren't live performances. There was just, that was how music was made.
That's just,
exactly.
We're going to go listen to music.
Yeah, the only way there could be the separation of live performance is if there's a non-live performance. Other than that, it's all just music happening.
And that's only until fucking like recordings came around.
Exactly. So I think, if we go that far back, like that's when music changed. When it suddenly, you could be in a room with nobody and experiencing
And you just
music.
listen-
And
some
think of how-
motherfucker's cranking like a
Yeah.
goddamn like record, and you're like, this shit slaps.
Yep.
Fucking,
And then think about how many times now you've listened to music by yourself and it's been the vibe.
every day.
Yeah. And I mean, granted, yes, you could just play an instrument yourself, but not everybody had the option to play an instrument. Like, not everybody had the accessibility to get one. So
It
like,
was way more of a profession back in the day.
I think it was more of a if you could do it, the town would utilize you. So it was kind of like the original job.
Hey, this motherfucker
of
can throw
musicians.
down.
Yeah.
Let's get him at the tavern.
Yeah. But I mean, like, but nowadays, I think the option to create music accessibly, well, yes, there are a lot of people who distribute it now. That's just an opportunity to be more diverse. That means that you don't have to worry about making a sound that sounds familiar, because there's already plenty of sounds that sound familiar. You have the freedom to create anything.
You do.
And it's allowed to be called music. Back in the day, you had to do what the community decided was best.
That is
because
true, yeah.
they had to listen to it, or you had to sit inside all by yourself. Now you have the option to share anything and everything. And while, some of it is not perceived as enjoyable to some people, if you're making music, you can put it out. And you putting out your song that nobody loves, quote unquote, like, as long as you love it,
Yeah.
isn't going to hurt Drake. It isn't going to hurt the Dobacks of the world. It isn't going to hurt, the people who are coming up, the people who are just starting. Like, it just is going to exist, and that's fine.
Yeah.
We as creatives, we stifle ourselves when we don't let our creativity exist.
Yeah.
Because there's a callus that needs to be built to be able to put your music out and feel confident about it. But it never happens if you never do it.
Exactly.
And so I think anybody putting out music should not only be allowed to, they should be inspired to, they should be welcome to. If we encouraged it earlier on and everybody did it, everybody would just be more comfortable with the concept. Then it would become a big utility thing again for the everybody, like the separation of different communities.
There's a lot of shit like that.
Yeah.
That's just like fucking human life right there.
Exactly.
It's just like, yeah.
But music being, one of the most I'm trying to think how I read it. Music is a form of communication that transcends like language. So, I mean, it's such a utility thing for us. It's obviously been around forever, so it's built into our core being.
Yeah,
And I think-
any motherfucker like speaking any language can listen to a song,
And feel
they're gonna hear it
Yep.
exactly the same way as everybody else.
Yeah, and they're, like I said, they're going to feel it the same way. Like a big, loud, heavy, aggressive song is going to invoke that physical feeling. A soft, sultry, smooth song is going to invoke that physical feeling.
Yep.
And then it's up to you to decide preference. That is the internal dialogue. And then you go from there. But yes, like you said, that is literally how a lot of the world could be perceived. But I think we set a lot of separation between us by trying to dictate what things are and aren't, and not just listening to it and deciding if you like it or not and going from there. I think if the foundation started at if you liked it or not instead of what is it, then perception changes.
rather than feeding into like way more complications. And it's just
Exactly.
like, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. If you listen to it, you like it.
Cool. Yeah. No,
That's good.
This is a song I like.
Yeah. And you don't have to like it. That's fine. You know what? There's an episode of the Auntie Donna podcast where Zachary Ruane talks about how people make it a competition to have not heard a song before. To like be like, oh my God, you haven't heard this song? You haven't experienced this artist?
That's so weird.
When I was recently doing an episode, I believe it was Terminal's episode. Shout out Terminal. Shout out, Big Peso as well. Shout out Arlington Drive. There we go. Got the list. When I was doing his episode, I was trying to like expand out, and I a lot of the music he gave me, like there was it was very like Latin based. It was, there was a lot of Latino artists on there. So I decided I wanted to do a whole episode of it because I thought that was really interesting. That was a style of music I hadn't really gotten to dive into on like a broader spectrum. So it was fun for me to experience that as new. There are so many songs with millions of plays there. Like so many artists that just had millions upon millions of plays. Because, it's just, it's it's deep rooted.
It's woven into their culture.
Yeah. And you know what? I even forgot the initial point of that statement. I kind of ran away like thinking about it because it was so cool to me to see that the music there is so appreciated in all its realms.
There's this massive fucking festival in Mexico every year that we never fucking hear about.
Yeah.
And it's just like tens of thousands of fucking people there. And it's like,
yeah,
we never hear a light of day of it.
I mean, tens of thousands isn't as big. I bet you is it multiple days?
Fucking, I don't know. I don't know shit about it because like
if it is,
I don't hear about it.
Hey, somebody put it in the comments so we can read about it later. But like, I'm curious to know more about it because if it's like EDC, I think the first EDC had like 1.2 million people in 3 days. Or not the first one, the first Las Vegas one.
Oh shit!
Like, don't quote me on this number. But yeah, I think it was like upwards of within the 3 days, it was 1.2 million people.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and I was there for 2 of the 3 days. I can attest.
You count everybody?
That was a lot of days. Yeah. I started early. I actually stood.
He's
next
off a
to the
beam,
guy.
fucking counting people.
Yeah,
like,
I just stood next to the guy that was counting them as they were coming in. I was like,
1, 2, 3.
I would just watch him click it. I'd be like, oh, what's up, man?
That's a lot of people.
All right, yeah, no, you're fine. Yeah, dude, but that's insane. That's definitely a display of the power of music. You know what I mean? Like just the
really
opportunity to bring that many people from all around the world. And I mean, they all do it now. Like there's so many festivals and so many things. And
it's insane.
If we take away the conversation of accessibility, because now, like, man, Beyond Wonderland was just here, and like general tickets for the days were like, I think like $350. Like that's a lot of, like, yes, that's a lot of stuff happening, but I don't remember spending that much to go to see EDC in Vegas for the first time. You know what I mean? And that was
the festival season is a fucking business these days. I mean, I guess it always has been, but
yeah. Well, I mean, and then we get into the conversations of like COVID and the impact of that, and like the change of time and making up for things. But that's that is not here nor there.
The economy
for this show. Yeah, exactly. That's just it gets into it. There's so many logistics, and I think that if we as people who make music in the regular space and not in the like overview of the world of things, I think we just have a lot more fun just kind of doing it and not putting a lot of as much stuff behind it. We'd all have a good time. But it's important for everybody to create music in their own way. And
I agree, yes.
And the people who put the things behind it, they do so because it's important. So it's not something you diminish, but man, sometimes I wish the
swords have two blades.
I nailed it. I figured it out. The critics, people being critical of music coming out, if it's not displaying like egregious hatred or like diminishing of an existence of something, like if you just don't like it, you can just not listen to it. Like literally nobody's forcing you.
We're talking to you, Anthony Fantano, right?
I mean, Anthony, if you watch this show, I appreciate you watching. But, everybody is, and that's the other thing, is everybody is entitled to their opinion as long as it doesn't intrude on the life or existence of others. Yeah. That is a firmly held belief. And, everybody should just be more accepting of things in general. That's not the narrative of this show in particular. But as far as music is concerned, I think that people attach too much identity to music. And like to kind of give a backwards example. Actually, you know what? I'll leave that one because I'm sure it'll just delve into a much longer conversation for us. So we won't go that route. But instead, we'll get back into these questions we have predetermined. Okay. That was a little tangent for Jimmy's Jambox, y'all.
Back to the broadcast, everybody.
Back to the originally scheduled programming.
All right.
Now we're going to focus on you. Now we're going to dive into a little more of you as the creator of music. Not like the inventor of music originally, but a person who creates music.
I invented music.
Oh, I thought you were 18 trillion years old.
I'm a time traveler.
Does that make you 18 trillion years old, or does that just mean you can travel 18 trillions of years and you're actually like 12?
I don't think about it.
Okay. How'd you pick your name? And you can go with Ism or Gurt. I'm going to limit you to those two. Actually, I want to hear both of them.
No, I'll do both. Yeah. Gurt is a lot easier to explain. Me and my friends in high school were dumb. And we got into the habit of replacing vowels in our name with R's. So like I had a friend named Tanner, so it was like dur, dur,
Yeah,
and my friend named Brock, and it was like Burke, and my name just
It already has two R's in it.
it already has two R's, so it was this Gurt, and that's kind of
That's amazing.
And then we just started putting U's, so it was just Gurt, like yogurt.
I love it.
As far as isms, me and one of my best friends, Bobby, also known as Probably, and my girl were discussing one of our friends one night. And this friend has a particular way of existing, and we called it blank isms, because he always did things a particular way. He always, you know, like if he was going to the store, he had to go a specific path.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, that was just blank isms.
Just being particular.
Yeah, and then we got on the topic of isms, and it was like everybody kind of has their mode of existence. Everybody kind of just navigates the world as they navigate, because that's their perception of the world, and that's just their isms. I mean, we were just like isms. That's a good name. It was in a time where I was trying to figure out a new name, so it was just like isms kind of stuck.
Yep.
So that's how that came along. We later learned that that's just autism. Our friends is, you know, autistic, but the name still stuck. You know, the sentimental value is still there. And
I mean, I think the original meaning for it stands strong enough. You know what I mean?
Like, it really does. Everybody just kind of navigates their life the way that they like to live.
You know, for the most part, I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
Yeah, unless they're NPCs, then fuck them.
Yeah, then they've got 16 pads and a screen, and they play sick beats. Shout out Max again. Speaking of which, tell us about your writing process. How do you go about putting together music? Do you start with like the beat, the vocals? Do you wait for like a sound in the wild? Like what do you like? And I know everybody's process changes all the time, but what do you generally do?
Dude, I don't fucking know. Sometimes I'll just be scrolling on like TikTok and I'll hear like a weird noise. I'm just like, ugh, I could like sample this. And sometimes I sit at my computer for 3 hours and I don't make shit. I don't really have a process. It just kind of happens, you know?
So you just get inspired by
I would like to say so, yes. I get inspired by hearing a brand new song and I'm like, fuck, I really like this. And I try and dive in, make something like similar in a way.
Yeah.
I get inspired by fucking sitting on my computer for a couple hours and then finally get something going. I get inspired by scrolling on the internet and hearing some dumb shit and I'm like, I could make something out of this.
See, that ties back to the world of music.
It does. It really fucking does. There we go.
All right. Now, this one's kind of a not like a broad stroke question, but we're gonna paint a little picture here.
Okay.
Out of your entire discographies, out of all the music you've ever made ever, which song do you think represents you best?
Fuck. Okay. So me and probably one of my best friends and one of my music best friends put out an album in 2021, an album that we worked very hard on for like 2 fucking years.
Oof.
And ended up being 22 songs and like an hour and 5 minutes long. And, we're both the same way, and where we just like start overthinking shit, and we're just like more, and just like we're making songs as we're fucking making the album, and we all just end up in there. We have a couple songs on there that I would probably represent isms as. We also have some new songs coming out with a featured Mr. Doback.
Ooh, shout out Doback.
Shout out Doback. I don't know where he is, but if
he's here in spirit for sure.
What is the dog doing? Yeah, I have a couple of songs that really represent it. off of that album and or mine and Probably's forthcoming EP. Is forthcoming right? Is that right?
Upcoming.
You know?
I mean, forthcoming might be right.
I don't know.
I think forthcoming is. You know what?
Can somebody
Put it in the
Google,
comments.
Can somebody Google this for me and fucking tell me?
Yeah, put it in the comments. We're trying to get more people interacting with the show, so let's see if it happens.
Yeah, comment.
Let's see if it happens.
Tell me how fucking stupid I am. Say it in the comments.
Nobody
please.
say that. Let's
Please
be
tell me.
nice.
Put me in my fucking place, please.
Now, oh God, hold on. Oh, I see what happened here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I make some time?
Nope, you're totally fine. We're going to dive into the much funner questions now.
Oh, God.
These are all the hypothetical questions.
Hypothetical. What is this, a fucking therapy session? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, go ahead and lay down. Just lean back. Tell me what you see. Perfect. He's a sleepy boy.
Jimmy's a hypnotist.
Oh, no. All right. If you could work with any one artist that's still alive, so if it's a group, you got to pick one person from it, but one artist that's currently alive, who would it be?
That's a hard fucking question. Jesus Christ. Brandon Boyd from Incubus.
Okay. And why?
Because I fucking love Incubus. That's like my favorite band. I really... fuck, dude. Mike Eisinger from Incubus, actually, because Brandon Boyd just fucking harmonizes on every song, and he's probably a great person to write with, but Mike Eisinger kind of, in my opinion, leads the band. Mike Eisinger circa like 2002, 3. Not like current Mike Eisinger, but...
let's stick with current day. I think
current
the theme of this is like present.
God damn it, Jimmy.
Well, nobody's ever given a time period on an artist, so I've never had to I've never had to ultimatum that scenario.
Okay, well, Incubus sucks now, so let me divert that. I'm gonna go with Medicine, the producer Medicine.
Yep. Great choice.
Yeah. Next up was Tycho from Tycho.
Yep. Also a phenomenal choice.
Both those artists played an important role in our Mine and Probably's album that came out in 2001 named Dose. It's all streaming everywhere.
Literally everywhere.
It's literally everywhere.
If you go into a little bodega somewhere in wherever the country where bodegas are prominent, I can't remember at the moment.
America.
I mean, they come from somewhere else.
Do they really?
Yeah,
I thought a little corner store was just like, oh, that's a bodega.
Well, yeah, but remember, all of the names of things came from other places.
That is true.
Yeah, but somebody put that in the comments too. That'll be a fun one.
Tell us.
Yeah. Let us know the origin of the bodega. But getting back to it,
Medicine and Tycho are probably the two biggest inspirations behind the production behind the album that we made.
Okay.
Especially the latter half. It's very just like psychedelic kind of trap shit.
Yeah.
I love Tycho. I love fucking Medicine. And in my brain, it was just like, merge these together.
You know, I've never asked who are two artists you would want to see together. But I think I might want to bake that into the regular question roundings.
Medicine, Tycho. Okay,
let's take those two off the table. I want to because this is the invention of the question.
Okay,
let's re-ask it.
I missed out on the opportunity.
No, we're gonna re-ask it.
Okay,
but I want you to pick two different artists because I think it'll be fun.
Two different ones. God damn it!
Yeah, I want to give you a little bit of a challenge.
Why do you do this to me?
Who are two other artists you would like to see together?
Flying Lotus and Aphex Twin.
Do you know Aphex Twin just put out a new song?
I did. I've listened to it. It was
so good.
It was such a vibe.
So good. It was definitely a vibe.
I put it on in traffic and I kind of just spaced out for like 7 minutes.
Yeah. That's definitely kind of how it works with Aphex Twin sometimes. Mm-hmm. You don't realize that suddenly it's been an hour and a half.
That would be a fire collab though. Fucking Flylo and Aphex.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
have you seen the video? Have you seen the video with Flylo? Flylo, Aphex, and Aphex? Have you seen the video with Flylo, Aphex, and Aphex? Have you seen the video with Flylo, Aphex, and Aphex? Have you seen the video with Flylo, Aphex, and Aphex? Have you seen the video with Flylo, Aphex, and Aphex? Have you seen the video with Flylo, Aphex, and Aphex? Have you seen the video with Flylo, Aphex, and Aphex? Have you seen the video with Flylo, Aphex, and Aphex? Have you seen the video with Flylo, Aphex, and Aphex? Have you seen the video with Flylo, Aphex, and Aphex? Have you seen the video with Flylo, Aphex, and Aphex? Have you seen the video with Flylo, Aphex, and Aphex? Have you seen the video with Flylo, Aphex, and Aphex? Have you seen the video with Flylo, Aphex, and Aphex? Have you seen the video with Flylo, Aphex, and Aphex? Have you seen the video with Flylo, Reggie Watts and Mark Ripley.
No.
It's-
oh my fucking
And
god.
they're just going for it.
Dude, I mean, fucking like
It's incredible.
fucking Marcus is always on the fly. Philo-is a fucking genius, and
Yeah.
Reggie Watts is kind of funny.
Reggie Watts is just the most delightfully unhinged human ever. Like, he is somehow genuine and not real at all at the same time. Like, he exists 100% and he exists outside the plane of existence. What a bizarre and unique man.
That is a human being.
That person is
Unhinged.
Yeah.
Dick
Big fan.
out.
I would hope not without approval of the people around him.
Nah, dick out. You don't have to ask for approval.
Oh, is this like a the King's New Clothes story where he doesn't know he's Nicky?
I don't know that story, but yes.
Oh, you don't know, what is it? The Emperor's New Clothes, I think is what it's called.
All I know is The Emperor's New Groove, and that
that's
was
a banger.
that was a
That
fire
was
film.
Definitely top 3
that-
Disney movie right there.
And that is cinema at its finest.
Wait, top 3 Disney movies, go.
I don't fuck with Disney. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't a Disney kid growing up.
But Emperor's New Groove.
Like, can I?
All right,
Can
all
I
right.
pick 3 Pixar movies?
Yeah, that's acceptable. They own them now.
Yeah, they do. Finding Nemo,
Banger.
The Incredibles 2,
Banger.
Emperor's New Groove.
That's not a Pixar movie, but it counts as a Disney movie, so you nailed it.
So
Also, The Emperor's
I'm
New
there.
Groove is a banger. That
It's an
definitely,
absolute banger.
definitely one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's so
I
good.
don't care how old I get. It's always going to be.
I
a banger.
remember it. I mean, you're old too, so you know.
Thanks.
Yeah. So back in the day, to all the kiddos listening, they had books that had like a cassette tape that goes along with
Mm-hmm.
it. I had the Emperor's New Groove one, and it was I fucked with that.
Did
shit.
David Spade do the voice?
Dude, I was like 5. I don't know.
Fair. I wonder if they licensed that. I wonder if they got David Spade and John Goodman. What a lineup! Has there ever been a live movie with David Spade and John Goodman?
I don't know. Fuck.
If there is, I need to
Get
know.
John
Put it in
Cusack
the
in there,
comments. Put it in the comments, y'all. I
I'm
need
on
to know.
Christopher Walken narrating my V8 or cassette tapes.
Yeah. Yo.
Kronk.
Yo, I wonder if
Where is the poison? Oh, he.
Oh,
liked
that one got me. That one got me, y'all. It's been a while. That one got me. All right, so this next question is usually a segue right out of the previous question's answer.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine you just answered the question, if you could work with one big artist, who would it be?
Yeah, no,
Remember,
I'm
you
back.
just
I'm back in
answered
time.
that.
I'm back in time. I'm there.
Subsequently, who's a local artist that you're aware of that you would like to work with, but you haven't yet?
Go back.
Well, you already you work with Dobak.
I do work with Dobak.
You work with Dobak. Also, shout out Dobak, wherever he is.
He's here in spirit.
What the dog doing?
What is the dog
I
doing?
always wonder what the dog's doing.
Existing. I bet the dog astral projects every night.
I think all dogs can astral project.
You ever see them running in their sleep? They're just dancing in the cosmos. One. I would fucking love to make a song with. Now I'm fucking forgetting their name. Yellow Trash Can. There we go.
Okay.
Yellow Trash Can. I really fuck with their music. I think they are phenomenal for coming out of Portland. I'd also fucking love to make a song with Lawrence, even though we're friends. Lawrence, let's make a fucking song, please. But yeah, Yellow Trash Can.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as always, y'all, if anybody knows them, let's make it happen. It actually technically did kind of happen the other day. Somebody finally reached out to me. It was like, yo, I know these people. I was like,
Oh shit.
So yeah. These things actually happen, y'all. Let's do it if you know them.
So yo, Jetta Vespita,
There you go.
hit me up.
There you go.
I'll make some subpar beats for you.
All right, now this one, it's a little bit of a headier question. If you had to pick a different genre than any other one you've made before. So if you've made it before or you've done it before, doesn't count. But a genre you've never done before.
This is an
you would
easy
be
question.
Equally as competent as you would at this. What would it be?
It would be some fucking beat down, some fucking just grindcore. Are you kidding me?
You've never played the Brutals Magoodles?
No, never.
I've
never had the opportunity to, because I've never been good at any of the fucking
the
instruments.
official Jimmy's Jambox hardcore band starts to. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
bro, fucking. I saw that 5-string. Throw it down. No, I know a good drummer.
True.
No, I would love to fucking make some beat down. I want to see people bleed. God damn. I do like some fucking grindcore. Holy fuck.
Hell yeah.
I would want to do vocals, but like I can't scream no more.
Yeah. You know, I'll be honest, the very first band I was ever in was like a metal band with like 3 guitarists, because we were all friends.
It sounds overcompetent.
There was a lot. It was a lot going on.
Was it like what year was it?
We were in high school, so it was 2000, between 2004 2008, so probably like 2005.
So like that, like 2009 to 13 metalcore hasn't really came around then.
Well, no, it was like starting to squeeze its way in. But they were big on like, you know, like Iron Maiden, and like, oh, well, hey, I like Iron Maiden. I've seen them live though, so I think I'm allowed to like them. They are incredible live. I mean, their music is good.
I don't doubt that. I'm not a big fan on like classic metal.
That's
like
true.
Metallica
You also
can fucking
grew up on it.
suck my dick. Like
You
I don't
also like you grew up on it in a way. Well, I guess I grew up on it in a way too. I don't listen to a lot of old music in general, so I don't think I have the same like towards older music the way some people do and don't. Also, you know, the reverse argument can be that, you know, music now isn't the buzz compared to music then.
You're fucking being an old head about it. Yeah,
I think like you can listen to both. You can like both.
Yeah.
You can like some of one and some of the other.
Yeah.
I listen to my release radar every single week.
He's up to date.
I listen to 2 other people's release radars every single week because I always listen to mine too fast.
He's updated.
No, it's fun to know. There's so much music coming out. It's so interesting to hear the direction.
It really is. Yeah.
And it's fun when you find an artist where you're like, wow, this hits. I'm gonna like, and you go to follow him and you think it's gonna be like, you know, hundreds of thousands, and it's like 1,100. And you're like, oh my god, like
they're still blowing up.
Yeah, well, not even.
I got the wind.
There are
Holy
some
shit.
people. There are some people who do just put their music out because they like to put it out. They want to be able to show it available. Like,
and we're
easily.
circling back to the conversation.
There
we
y'all.
go.
There it is, y'all. So yeah, so I mean that's a whole thing in general.
It is. Yeah.
But before we tangent on another one, we actually have now reached the wrap up portion.
The wrap up.
Yep. So go ahead and tell us what's happening next. And this probably comes out like very end of June, possibly early July. I don't have my calendar in front of me.
Bro, it's the end of June.
yeah, like, you know, I think it's like next week or the week after.
Okay.
So imagine what's happening at the end of July. What can people look forward to after they watch this?
Well, Prolly and I have been working on a little EP, and it is in the same vein of the psychedelic kind of trap music we've been working on. We are working on it. It also has a song featuring Dobak, so that's very exciting.
Wherever he is, I'm sure he loves that. Also, what is the dog doing?
I heard Dobak's with the dog.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
We still hear his echoes in the night. I miss John, dude. Rest in peace.
He's like a whisper in the wind.
John, rest in peace, John Dunn.
Okay.
He also is alive in peace.
No.
Oh.
You didn't hear about it? We'll talk about it afterwards. But we have a new EP coming. Posthumous Dobak is featuring on it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's awesome. I'm super excited for that.
Yeah. It will come out.
It will come out after this episode comes out.
It will come out.
All right. Now for this next one, look at the camera. Tell people how they can like how they can find you in the future.
You can find me. My home address is 16. I'm not going to say that. You can find me on Instagram at Gurt, and that is GUUUURT. There's 4 U's. I had to
There
count.
are that many U's. It will be down in the bottom.
Yeah.
I never interrupt this portion, but you've seen all the episodes. It happens.
It'll be somewhere. I go by Isms. I will eventually change my Instagram name.
I mean, you don't have to.
I don't have to. I mean, Drake's name is Champagne Poppy.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
Well, what's Tyler's? Tyler the Creator.
Tyler, Felicia the Goat. Yeah.
Felicia the Goat. Like,
I was
I
like,
don't,
which
I
Tyler?
don't know Instagram. I didn't have Instagram for 2 years. I didn't have social media for 2 years. I don't remember anything.
Wake up, Jimmy.
Oh, God.
Get back to reality. Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing I'll probably promote is my Instagram. I sell beats on YouTube.
How can they find that?
It's Isms Music. You can type it in the YouTube search.
And that's Isms with an S on the end, so ISMS?
ISMS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And
that way when I tag it later, I'll know how to spell it.
there we go.
Breaking the fourth wall, baby.
You can listen to my beats. I am going to drop some bass music on SoundCloud with the same based music. And I, don't really know what I'm doing with my life or in an artist direction, but I'm kind of just going with the flow at this point. And it seems to be working fine.
Yeah.
My astrology chart told me just to follow my intuition. And you know what I've been doing about it? I've been taking Lexapro and I've been getting drunk.
It shows.
And it hasn't done me wrong so far. So I'm going to keep doing that until it does me wrong.
Well, we're happy you're here. I'm happy you're here.
I'm happy you're here. I'm happy for this experience.
Yeah.
This was a once in a lifetime experience.
You've already been on the show.
Well, not like this.
True. You are one of the few people who've shown up as a Jimmy's Jambox Live before showing up on interview. But technically,
that is true. Check that out.
Technically, it was Doback.
It was Doback. I was just in the shot. Is there a Doback without a Gurt?
I mean, I think the real question is what the dog do.
That's always what we're wondering, is what the dog is doing.
Yes. What's the dog doing? All right, now before we close up, there's 2 more questions. The first one, any other plugs, shout outs, anybody you want to put on? Now's the time.
Don't listen to Doback. I don't know. I don't know anybody who listens to Doback. And definitely don't go see anybody who's in Doback Live. Never. I am just kidding. I DJ for Doback. He's fucking staring at me. I mean, the dog
Wherever he is.
Wherever he is. Yeah. No, from heaven. Rest in peace. God damn, I miss him so much. We're actually just performing to keep his spirit alive.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, do you have one of those, like, those 3D generated?
Yeah, no, we have like a Tupac hologram,
Yep,
but it's
hologram.
a fucking Doback.
We spent $2.5 million on it.
Yeah, and that's what he's worth. His life insurance paid for it.
Oh,
we actually didn't.
I guess that's a good way to do it.
We didn't give him a burial. We kind of just threw him in the dumpster outside of his shop.
Oh no!
But we spent all that money on a hologram just to keep him alive.
Well, doing big things.
Yeah, so that's where you can find me and Spirit Doback is alive
everywhere.
Everywhere.
And I'm pretty sure like 3 episodes ago, if this comes out when I think it's going to come out.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, he died post, so, it's a very touchy subject.
Well, wherever he is now, I'm sure he's in a good place.
I hope he's in fucking hell.
I mean, how hot it is in here, it's not too far off. Really breaking that fourth wall, y'all.
I hope he's fucking
all right.
Sucking Satan's dick, dude.
Oh, no.
His big red cock.
All right, we've got one last question, and this is the crowd favorite. Mm-hmm. This is how we close out every episode. What is your guilty pleasure song? And just remember, the wilder the better.
Does anybody remember the Vegna Boys? I'm pretty sure everybody is pretty familiar with them because they had the...
Can you spell that just so I can make sure you said that?
Vegna Boys.
Vegna?
Vegna.
Not
Boys.
the Benga Boys?
Not the Begna
Okay.
Boys. The Vegna Boys. They had a very popular song that was licensed by Six Flags.
That is
party.
the Benga Boys.
Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. No, it's the Vegna Boys. It's with a V.
Is it a V? I'm pretty sure it's a B.
What fucking
I was it Casey? So you picked the song Casey picked on episode 200.
No. That's not the song I chose.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, same
Okay.
artist.
First of
Wait,
all...
hold on. Comments now. Is it a V or a B? Because I've been saying it as a B the entire time.
I don't know which Mandela effect fucking universe you live in, but it's always been a V.
Well, I never knew the name of the artist until he
It's
picked it out for
Vegna
200.
Boys. It's Vegna Boys.
Holy
you
shit,
haven't
I've been
heard that
saying it with a B the whole time.
God damn, Jimmy.
Well, I've heard the song. I just haven't
Okay.
known the artist
So there's a song
until
by them
that episode.
called Boom 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 Boom. Boom,
Yep.
boom, boom, boom. I want you in my room. Let's spend the night together.
If we sing too much of it, we'll get copywritten. But yes.
No, it's fine. Covers are allowed.
No, YouTube does not like them.
No, fuck YouTube.
Ask me how I know. Anyways, that is a great choice. Also,
Thank you.
I knew they were the same artist the whole time, but I never put that together. Mm-hmm. So
That's what two songs...
fun.
I dare anybody to name another fucking Vegna Boys song on the spot
I mean, I
without
couldn't
looking
do
it up. Those are the two songs everybody knows them by.
Yeah. And again, I didn't even know that was them.
Second choice is Every Time We Touch by Cascade.
Yep. Oh, I was listening to a cover of that the other day
'Cause
that
every
like
time we
decided to
touch,
get heavy,
I get the
and I was so
feeling.
excited for the heavy because it was like the build into it was so well. No, like it was like chugs heavy. It was like yeah, and the
Nasty,
the way
yeah.
they led into it was so powerful and so awesome, and then it dropped into like the main part, and it just didn't hit. I was so bummed. Like I bet
That's
live it murdered, but there was something about it. Probably in the way like whatever I was listening to it on, maybe even like I'm sure if I like listened to it on my
See,
like
you knew the song
bigger
before,
stuff
so
more.
you were expecting something,
Well,
and
like,
then it just didn't deliver.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't the music. Like I said, it was the mix. I think that I was expecting a little bit more of a presence in the same realm, but different. Like I've heard other like
Something
like
fucking upfront,
Yeah, I've
yeah.
heard other like chuggy songs that have done like electronic songs, and like you get to the point you're like, oh,
You remember fucking like Punk Goes Pop and Punk Goes Crunk?
Yep.
They need a fucking Punk Goes Europop and just like cover all those songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Dude.
I'd be down for that. But also, I mean, like, I listen to Enter Shikari.
That's pretty much
From
the
his
same
first
thing.
album.
Dude, I fucking love Enter Shikari.
Dude, they big fan. Big fan.
Bro, fucking what's the album with the triangle?
Oh,
The color and fucking I don't know.
I can't remember the name.
God damn. Dude, I remember fucking Ender Shikari. I've been
Well,
to,
did you listen to the album after that one? The one with like the like medieval lion on it?
No, that was before. That was the one before.
Was that
with
the
like
one
the
before?
Jester and shit.
No.
Bam, bam,
Wait,
bam,
what
bam.
was the one after it?
So it went the one with the fucking lion, and then it went with the one with the triangle.
Huh, I always thought that one came out after it.
No, they were very like close.
They were very close. They
Yeah.
were only like a year apart, I think.
You're not an elder emo if you don't.
Oh, yeah. Yep. All right, y'all. We're going to officially close this up. So I'm going to steal this for just a second. As always, make sure, like, subscribe, do all the stuff, you know, and it was a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of Dobak as a band, Gurt as a person, Dobak as a person, wherever he is.
Rest in peace.
I'm sure he's somewhere. I'm sure he's somewhere happy. But this has been another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. I'm Jimmy.
And I'm Isms.
And I'm Dobak.
And we're signing off. Later, y'all.